you. I know how to bounce back, cause you know I got her. And she look good, don't she? On top of that, she good for me. Made me wanna say, even though I got plenty, if I'm down to my last penny, I still got her. Still got her. I still got her. You must be knowing here. You see these grown people talking, what you doing here? I gotta have a mind to hit you with a split your get up off the wall.
It's week 4 of the National Football League, and the spotlight is on Justin Herbert. You can't ask for much more than his last game, a 5-touchdown effort. It's the
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Raiders offense heading out with their new man under center for 2023, the former Patriot, former 49er, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with the receiver?
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Here we go. So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. A first carry for Amir Abdullah. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. When you talk about the defense for those Chargers, they were very good a week ago in the win over Minnesota.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in, and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. And the rookie Darius Davis deep for the Chargers. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. 44-yard punt. They're going to wind up losing yardage on the return, though. And the Chargers will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. So the Charger offense making its way out, and at the controls is the league's 2nd leading passer a year ago. At 25 years of age, out of Oregon, it's Justin Herbert.
And he's been playing at an elite level here in this early half of the season. Tops in the league in touchdown passes at this point. This is definitely a wide-open offense, so we'll see if he can keep his string of good games going right here.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, that's absolutely going to fire this defense up. They made it their mission to deny that completion, and it came through with a nice hit and knocked it incomplete.
On 2nd and 10, the ball back with Herbert. Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. 3rd down.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Now 4th down, so the Chargers trot out J.K. Scott. DeAndre Carter back deep. Taken right around the 44. Found good room to run there. Returns it 14 yards. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. 2nd drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. Early on, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Now Garoppolo. And that's complete to Adams. And Devontae's going to have a Raiders first down as he'll be brought down at the 27. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Here we go.
Now Garoppolo on the bootleg. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down. Here's Abdullah running right. Only 2 yards on the carry. That's going to set up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 15 to be exact.
When you talk about the defense for these Chargers,
they're currently 6th in the NFL in defending the run.
They've established themselves as a top 10 run-stopping unit in the NFL here in the early going. All signs point to me.
And this is going to be intercepted.
picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Chargers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
Well, your first drive of the first quarter, you get it down there, try to fire it in the end zone, and big-time deflation on that play.
No doubt about it. They're moving and grooving and getting into position, and this is not the ending that they saw on this drive, is it? They had things going their way.
Let's go. Ready.
After the turnover, here's Herbert. And his throw here's incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
5-9.
A shotgun snap for Herbert. That's caught by the rookie Quentin Johnston. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 27 yards there, a first down.
Let's go.
Herbert now steps away. It's caught inside the 25. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Here's Herbert escaping the pressure right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
And here, you're down in the red zone. You need to be smart, not force anything. So that's a wise decision to just get rid of the football.
Herbert back to the air. He'll buy some time right. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defense.
He finds his receiver, Williams, for a Charger touchdown.
Mike Williams,
his first touchdown on the year.
And the Chargers use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And it's now a 7-0 game. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34.
So out come the Raiders.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, this defense for the Chargers very strong in that victory a week ago.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run.
And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. Returnable here for Davis. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. So here are the Chargers to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak and right now looking good in this one as well. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Go. Let's go. Okay. Five nine.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Rolling to his left. They've got his man complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 49 yards there, a big one.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
On 1st down, Justin Herbert flushed out right.
And this one is going to be off. In front. The Chargers hit 3-0 here in the month of September. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Now it's Herbert. They'll roll him out right.
He gets it to Johnston. Touchdown! Quentin Johnston. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers go up by 2 touchdowns. Dicker now to tack on the extra point.
And it's good to make it 14-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays.
And it was Quentin Johnston who finished that drive off with a touchdown grab.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
No return here for Carter, and this will be a touchback. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there.
And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics. basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Garoppolo now. He fights him off. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance, they've got to get the ball in his hands a lot quicker.
Here's A.J. Cole now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But with the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it and let's go with it.
That one good for 37 yards.
We spent a lot of time talking about what's going on the field. How about off the field with the evaluation? And they spent a lot of time saying, we've got to get a rookie in here who has big playability. And that's exactly what we're seeing here early in his career.
Drafted him in the spring. Here he is early in the fall making an impact. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that one, that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
Herbert operating from the red zone. Open man, it's Johnston. Touchdown, Chargers. A great effort there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And it's now 21-0. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. And Carter deciding not to bring this one out. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores. And I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball. And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half.
Now Garoppolo is in trouble, and down he goes. Khalil Mack in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. Here's Garoppolo to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Khalil Mack in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. On 3rd down, Abdullah. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
And he is going to dive to the turf. Boy, a strange return there. And they're going to start with really terrible field position. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory.
59, 59. Ready.
On first down, it's Herbert. Dancing to his left. Oh, and that is incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far. But on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Let's go, let's go. 21. Hey, ram. Set.
Justin Herbert looking to throw on second down. Buying time to his left. He's got a man complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Herbert on first down now. Oh, wide open, complete. A big play there just before halftime. 45 yards.
I would say just add that one to the total big plays he's already made here in the first month of the year. You've got to think the front office and the coaching staff have got to be excited.
Touchdown, Chargers. Quentin Johnston on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Chargers are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And that makes the score 28-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Raider offense heading back for one final first-half drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting it once, you get first-half scores just like this one.
No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports Halftime Report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here.
And we'll jump right over halftime and keep the game going here in Week 4. Second half kickoff ready to go. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they scored here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a lopsided victory.
Flush to his right, and he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Max Crosby able to record his 5th sack of the season. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down.
Kappa. Hold me for Christ.
Out of the gun, Herbert being chased out left. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A real letdown defensively. That was third and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. Herbert setting up to throw on first down, eluding the pressure right. It's reeled in downfield by Johnston. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. It's a gain of 35. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Forced out to his left. He's got another one to Johnston. Touchdown! Quentin Johnston, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Chargers take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. The PAT would extend their lead, but there is a flag on the play. So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And Garoppolo going to lead the Raiders up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. A short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
To about the 40-yard line. This defense just continues to bottle up that ground game. And look, I mean, the deficit right now for this offense is so big that it might not matter. But you're still in the third quarter. They're probably going to have to try things through the air, Charles.
I agree with you totally. That's what they'll have to do. They do need to run it occasionally to take a few hits off the quarterback, because right now, you just know those pass rushers are fired up to get after it.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. And the Chargers are going to get it back here just past the 35. And right about now, you start to think, and maybe they're starting to think, gosh, maybe points aren't going to happen for us in this game.
Well, it's a thought that is worth having, because so far in this game, this defense has not just had the upper hand. They've appeared to be a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps, to everything they've done. They've had an answer for everything this offense has thrown at them.
The Charger drive about to get going. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
Here's Herbert now on second down, escaping the pressure right. Right side, he has Johnston. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 37 yards.
Everything's been going right here in this one. This offense, they've been in complete control from the outset. And here's another big play. These kind of routes have been open all game long, and they continue to take advantage.
On 1st and 10, Herbert flushed out right. Seen this all game. Another one to Johnston. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it.
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Justin Herbert taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Chargers have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And it is 42-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. No return here for Carter, and this will be a touchback. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. He completes it to Abdullah. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain there of 21 yards.
Here we go, here we go.
On first down, Abdullah. And some pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. 11 more on that one and another first down. To throw, it's Garoppolo. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And the Chargers will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
Well, it certainly feels like this defensive group has figured this guy out to the tune of a big lead in this one. And you know that he's frustrated with how this game has gone. And now with back-to-back interceptions, he's got to find a way to get out of his own head and start making better plays.
Hey, go Lion. Ready.
After the turnover, here's Herbert. Steps away to his left. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Just past him at the 45. And the Raiders are going to get the football back as time will run out in this 3rd quarter of play. So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover. Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he rifles one incomplete. Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. But he wasn't really big on that. He was big on go ahead and scoring. He's kind of reincarnated right here. We're watching it in front of us.
And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he cannot pull it in. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Baylor Tigers! Baylor Tigers!
Here's Herbert. Dancing to his left. That is incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The 4th down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And now, goodness, possession's going to go over right at the 10-yard line.
Here we go, here we go.
Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. To throw is Garoppolo. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And he will throw this one out of the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. And this one winding toward a conclusion. And how would you assess how the secondary is played?
Well, we just saw them take another shot downfield that was incomplete, correct?
Correct.
So my assessment is that if anyone's played really well in this game, it's been the secondary. That was the latest example.
Yeah, they've been solid. Really, the whole defense has been solid. Still pitching a shutout. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From his end zone, here's Darius Davis. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. You just kind of feel for the defense right now. This deficit, they have not been able to stop them the entire game, Charles. And some hands on hips, some long faces out there on the defensive side. They're like, oh, my gosh, we got to face these guys again here.
Yeah, people don't understand how hard it is when you're on the side that's being dominated to keep your head up and continue to play hard. And that's what they're going through right now, trying to find that pride inside of them to allow them to continue to fight, even though they are down huge in this game.
2nd and 10.
Lion, 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 lion. 12, 12.
A shotgun snap for Herbert. Flush to his right. And got his man complete. And he steps out of bounds, but not before he gets inside the 35. A big play there for L.A. 51 yards. yards. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Buying time to his left. Touchdown, Chargers. Quentin Johnston, 32 yards. And the Chargers are going to be moving to 4-0 as they extend their lead. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Looking deep in the direction of Abdullah. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. The Chargers getting set to go. I'm just wondering, do they want to add on to this gigantic lead? My guess, given how they like to play and how explosive this offense is, Charles, that they're not content being up by this margin. They probably want more.
And if they do go and get more, oh, look out. At that point, let's just aim the camera for the post-game handshake, because that one might be a little bit on the tense side, the way that this one is turning out.
Being chased out left. He gets it to Johnston. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. They're going to pass here with Herbert. Down the sideline he goes. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. For 30 more yards and another first down. Herbert operating from the red zone. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up, but he certainly will have some explaining to do.
Again, Herbert. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And there's a little bit of a case of back to the future, because Justin Herbert, as a rookie, 5 rushing touchdowns, 3 in 2021, and none last year. I think that speaks to his development as a pocket passer and trusting his receivers more and more. But in this case, trusted himself and found the end zone.
Extra point try now from Dicker.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And Carter deciding not to bring this one out. The Raiders heading out to take over. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack.
Talk about two sides of the ball at cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front 7, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
Gets it downfield to Mayer.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Give them 32 on the play. One final try now for Garoppolo.
And that is going to officially draw the curtain on this one as the last throw intercepted.
Picked off by Bryce Callahan.
And the Chargers are going to take over at the...